So today we're reviewing
Superman.
We did our pre-movie review 2 weeks ago for Superman. I know I said review coming soon. We're a little behind, but we saw Superman 2 weeks ago and saw it in IMAX theaters. And what were your initial thoughts of the new Superman?
Going into this movie, I was obviously not the happiest with losing Henry Cavill in this role, and just the whole thing of just cutting out the DC, or it was the DCEU basically before that, the Snyderverse basically.
Yeah.
So I was a fan of those movies for the most part. I didn't love them, but there was a lot that I liked about the depiction and just the slow motion shots and just really cool stuff in that universe. So I wasn't the happiest with this new direction they were going to go, and I had a very low bar going into this one. But I have to say, walking in a theater, I enjoyed myself and definitely liked a lot more about this movie than I thought I was going to. And I didn't love the movie, but I had a decent time with this one.
Yeah, so like I said in the pre-movie review, Henry Cavill is my Superman, so getting a new Superman here, it's a lot, just like getting the new Batman. But I do think David Cornsweet did a great job. I think he did a great job as this new Superman. But this movie overall, I said I was disappointed, and I still feel like that. I think it was kind of a forgettable movie. There's some stuff I really liked about it. There was a lot of possibilities here, and there's stuff I would want to go back and see again. But overall, I'd say I was disappointed with this movie, and we will get into that in the specifics. But why don't we start out with our positives first?
Yeah, positives for me definitely start with David Cornsweet. I thought he did a good job in the role, and it was a different type of Superman. It was different from the Henry Cavill one. And I did like his performance. I also liked a lot of the supporting characters in this movie. I didn't really have any. I knew Green Lantern was in it from the trailer, but other than that, I didn't know much about outside like Lex Luthor as well. And there were some really cool side characters. There was two villain characters along with Lex Luthor that worked really, really well. A girl character and a kind of machine type. You find out more with the spoiler, but you find out more about the second villain.
Yeah.
And there's a really cool shot of him walking through a portal
Great
that right at the beginning that really caught me off guard. And I thought Lois Lane, the new actress for her, must be Rachel Brosnahan, whatever. But she did a good job though. I liked what she did. I also liked the Mr. Terrific character a lot. He was a really surprising, he kind of stole the show a little bit in this one.
Yeah.
And there was definitely some cool scenes. There was also some really good comedic moments. There might be a little too much, but there were some really funny moments in this movie that worked well. There's also another character you are introduced to in a prison setting that was a pretty cool character as well. A pretty cool story arc, at least with his character's direction. So I'd say the characters did a good job. I liked the interactions with the characters. The villains were pretty solid, and I did like the color of the movie. It was definitely a more colorful movie than you would have saw in the Snyderverse. So I did like that to a degree, and I just had a fun time with it. This movie didn't really take itself seriously, and it was definitely like a comic book movie where you just kind of sit back and just watch stuff happen. And yeah, I think the entire cast and crew did a good job in this one, and I definitely enjoyed the characters on the screen, and some of the comedy definitely did work for me.
Yeah, my positives include definitely Superman. David Cornsweet as Superman was really good. I think he sold it. Henry Cavill stole my Superman, but he did a great job in this movie. And I think the Lois Lane, she was good as well. Really, I have no complaints. I liked the supporting characters. Mainly, what's his name, Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
He was really good. The other two, kind of forgettable.
That's
didn't
true.
really do much.
Yeah, I didn't mention him.
Yeah, but I did really like Mr. Terrific's scenes. The music, there were some great music choices. The villain, Lex Luthor, I thought he was great. And I really hope we can see him again because I thought he was a great villain. He really sold it. And that was a big positive for me. He had a lot of great scenes. And overall, a great villain. I'd say there's an interesting scene with a monster. There's a few different monsters in this movie. The one is pretty cool. It's introduction.
Like kaiju.
Yeah, and you see there's a lot of cool visuals and different things they go with as far as different creatures, different areas they explore like that. So why don't we go into our negatives for this movie?
Yeah, negatives for me, I think, are kind of the action to a degree. There wasn't really a great fight sequence. I mean, there was some stuff going on, but the action didn't necessarily. The action was done way better in the Snyderverse than the actual fights. There's not really great one-on-one fights. Even though there was a lot of stuff going on, so I didn't love that. I did want to say the Green Lantern character, I liked his performance. I was a little concerned going into it. I thought he was okay, did a good job, but I did not really care for Hawkgirl's character. This one just did not do it for me, so I wasn't the biggest fan of that one.
She didn't really do much.
There was she didn't do much.
Well, her and Green Lantern, I just feel like they didn't really do much.
And it was just So some of the comedy didn't land with me. I mean, I would say there's a subplot between two side characters that didn't really need to be in this thing, even though I guess one of the characters is a comic book accurate friend of Lois Lane. I didn't really care for that much in the story. They could have cut that out completely, I think. But yeah, I think just the lack of action and just overall, like, not necessarily getting a great sequence from Superman was kind of a frustrating aspect to it. And I didn't love, like, I did like David Cornswet's like presentation of the character, but there were some things about him that I definitely didn't necessarily love, because I feel like Superman should be more of a stoic, just epic type guy, not necessarily a human as much as he is in this movie. So maybe that didn't work for me 100% either.
Yeah, that's my biggest negative, is why I said it's disappointing, because Superman, I mentioned in the review, like, this movie is everyone except Superman, because I feel like everyone gets cool scenes except for Superman. Superman, you literally hear all these things in the beginning of the movie about all these fights he's won, and then I legitimately don't think you see him get a successful hit, maybe one hit on the monster the rest of the movie until the very end. And I'm like, I don't need Superman to be perfect. I don't need to be completely overpowered, but I want to see him have some cool scenes. And I just don't think he really didn't have a cool fight scene. He's never getting any hits in, and some of it's part of the plot. I understand that, but still, you want to see the hero have a hero's journey and do some stuff right. I want to see him fight and be epic, and maybe that's just because I watched the Snyderverse version where he's always epically floating around and just like punching things and throwing things around, but that's what I want to see. And I do think that really failed in the action aspect. I know he's kind of a nerd character as, you know, Clark Kent, but there's a certain point where, like, he's saving a squirrel off the street, and it's like, I understand they're trying to make him human. I guess he's not human. But, like, come on, you got to give him at least a couple cool scenes here or there, and he's just kind of getting tortured the entire movie. He never does anything right, and that was just a big issue for me. I needed to see, I mean, I think Mr. Terrific does more things right in this movie than actual Superman. And it's a Superman movie, for goodness sake. So that really bothered me. Would have liked to have seen a more one-on-one fight towards the end. And I think that's probably my biggest negatives. I just wanted to see more Superman. I wanted to see him do more right and more focus on him. And you can have side characters, but make sure they don't overshadow the main character, and make sure you respect the main character. And that just really bothered me throughout the movie. Why don't we go to our final thoughts and score?
Yeah, final thoughts overall. Like I said, I enjoyed a lot of the movie. Had a fun time with it. There was definitely some things I didn't love about it, which is what's kind of holding me back from, like, really recommending it to someone. But I definitely did think it was an interesting new take on Superman, and I do think he landed a few more hits than Kenny gave credit for. Like, he's definitely getting beat a lot in the movie. Like, he definitely loses too much to be Superman. Like,
he's losing
for
the entire movie.
And he's definitely a frustrating movie for him. Like, he's just, there's kryptonite involved. Like, he's definitely not at his peak strength throughout most of the movie, but he definitely did overcome some stuff. There was at least one cool shot of him coming out of, like, dust during, like, a scene he just saved someone. But then I had some issues with some side characters, like, they're not side characters, but some, like, people in the background, like, some scenes that took me out of it, like a kid playing with a soccer ball and there's a giant kaiju 5 feet away from her, like that. I just don't buy that very much, even though that's a comic book scene, but I didn't love that. But yeah, overall, I had a decent time with it. It's a little too much comedy, or like better action. But the overall cast did a good enough job for me to enjoy this movie and have some fun with certain scenes. And Mr. Terrific definitely stole the show. So I would have to end up giving Superman 2025 it was 6.5 out of 10.
That's exactly what it
is. And probably stay there for now for Superman.
Yeah, like you just said, the fact that Mr. Terrific steals the show just tells you everything you need to know. It's like, this is a Superman movie, so the fact that he has the coolest scene I remember from the movie is a problem. But mainly, just I went into the Superman movie, and usually when there's a certain character in the title, like, that should be the character on. And he did a great job. There's great supporting characters, had a great villain, but for me, I needed to see more action. I needed to see Superman just do more stuff right. I mean, I feel like the whole movie, everyone's just calling him out on stuff that he sucks, and he can't do this, and he can't do that, and he never fights anyone. But Yeah, just overall a forgettable movie, and I was disappointed for the most part. And it doesn't reach the level of the Henry Cavill Superman. And overall I give this a 6.5 out of 10. Though that is literally the number I had in my mind before Jake even said it. But I think that's because it's above average. There's some really good stuff here. I just needed better one-on-one fights and just cooler Superman scenes because he's an epic character, and
Yeah.
I feel like they needed to focus more on him. And there's a certain point in the movie where he's trapped, and every other character's trying to figure crap out. And I'm like, wait, is this a Superman movie? Like, everyone's on screen, and Superman's like in a glass box for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see him on screen figuring stuff out.
And I feel like it's worth mentioning. We didn't mention the dog at all. That's
The dog was
I thought
good.
the dog was okay. He did a good job. Definitely thought wasn't as annoying as some people were saying. I thought it was a cool character and kind of cool to see it on the screen for the first time. And there is also a couple other cameos, at least one cameo that maybe is a spoiler. I won't say it now, but it's definitely cool to see another character introduced as well. Yeah.
But overall, it had potential. It's slightly above average for me, but still disappointed. It does not beat out Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill
Not
is
yet.
still my Superman.
But this
still has
Lex-
the most epic scenes.
This Lex Luthor was definitely better though.
Yeah, it was better Lex Luthor for sure.
For sure. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching our non-spoiler review of Superman. We both ended up giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Let us know in the comments what you gave this movie and what's the next movie you're looking forward to this year, superhero and also just in general. I think we have the Weapons movie coming out here
Fantastic Four
soon.
soon.
We're gonna see Fantastic Four soon, and also Weapons, and see how Wong and other people are running around like in the same direction as everyone else in that trailer. So, guys, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.